Hey everybody, it's Randy with Carchaeology, and I've got another bug project that I've brought here to the lab, and I want to do a walk around and show you what's special about this 1960 Volkswagen Beetle. So this little blue Volkswagen Beetle is a car that was sold off of my website, oldbug.com, a number of years ago to a gentleman in Arizona. This guy was a very good friend of my oldest brother. He loved this bug. He had a great time with it. And unfortunately, he has passed on to the next realm. And his wife needs a hand with finding a home for Bob's beloved Beetle. So my brother and I blasted out to Arizona to pick the car up, talk to her, and suss out the situation there. I brought the car back here to the lab. I'm going to revive it, get it up and running and driving, polished up and ready for sale. And then this will be marketed on oldbug.com once all of that work is done. But before I dive into any of it, I want to share with you its current condition. Now, this is a 1960 Volkswagen Beetle. The vast majority of this is original paint. It is a color called indigo blue. And one of the things that's very special about this particular Beetle is that it was not a US spec car. This car was originally delivered to Canada, and it is what is called a Canadian custom model, which is sort of a blend between a deluxe and a standard model Volkswagen Beetle. So we never really saw the standard models here in the US. It was more of a European thing. Volkswagen realized that Americans love their chrome, and so they added chrome to everything, gave us the deluxe interiors and things like that, while the rest of the world could get the standard model. Now, some of the details that you'll see that are kind of unique on a standard are painted vent wing trims. That's one thing that stands out when you see that. A lot of traditional standard models also have no body chrome, which this car obviously does. That's what makes it the Canadian custom model. The interior of the car is very Spartan. It has the 3-spoke standard steering wheel. There's no chrome on the dashboard that goes across where the radio and glove box and center of the speaker grille is. The interior itself is very Spartan with a simple blue vinyl seat. The door panels have no armrests. They're a solid color. They're not two-tone. And there's some more little details that are standard only on these cars. This car is really an all original, well-preserved example. It does have a very cool accessory shifter lock on there. That's not something that you see very often. It still has the clear needle speedo there. It is in miles per hour because the car did go to Canada. Let's see, the other thing about the standard models or the Canadian custom as well is the headliner. The headliner is not a full headliner. It just fills the center part of the roof section, and all the interior body panels, window posts, that sort of thing are painted body color, which is really cool to see. There's none of the little metal pinch weld pieces that would hold the sunroof or headliner material in place. It's real Spartan, real clean, very simple, and very basic. Let's see, let me pop the hood and the engine compartment on this, and we'll take a look at what is going on there. So let's see here under the hood. Now this car does have the body chrome. It's got the Wolfsburg crest right there. It's a very simple interior to the under the hood there. It is a 1960. It's got the 4-tab hood with the little goo that holds the emblem on, and a flat platform on the top here to hold that emblem. It's got the original tool roll in here. It looks like the original fuel tank. It looks like this is an original German spare wheel and tire. Although looking at the colors here, I don't think this is actually the original spare for this car. It does have a cool Ontario, Canada 1960 license plate on the front of it. I love that. Let's go around the back here and check out the back. Oh, another thing, the running boards here. you can see that they have no chrome on the running board. That's another standard model deal. So it's got a Canadian license plate frame on here from a dealership in Ottawa, Morton Motors. That was a Volkswagen and Porsche dealership. The engine in here is an all-stock 36 horsepower engine. Now, being a 1960, there were some unique things about the 1960. The transmission mounts were a little bit different. The engine actually sat at a slightly different angle than years prior or years after. And as a result, the dipstick for the 1960 car is unique to 1960. And they are normally painted red like this, so that you can tell that they're different than other model years. Transmission mounts are unique to 1960. There's a couple of other details I'm sure that I'm missing. This car is really all stock. It's got all the right stuff in it. It's been sitting for a little bit, but I'm certain that this is going to fire up and run quite well. We just need to check for fuel leaks and things like that, make sure the fluids are up, and we will revive this car and get it out and up and running. Another neat detail on the Canadian cars was this Volkswagen script emblem. This is something that you didn't see in the US or really in Europe at all. And if you look real close, it even says Winnipeg in here on the casting. I forget what that says right there, but you can see that that was a Canadian produced item that was put on Volkswagen automobiles only in Canada. In any case, the paint on this is primarily all original, and you can see that it's faded through in spots. And so it does have a little bit of patina. It does look like there were maybe a couple of spots where there had been touch-ups done. Like this is a real common spot for a kink in the hood with this style of hood prop. It looks like maybe that was repaired once and blended in right here. The paint, the original paint up on this spot is faded, but I think it'll come back. If you rub it with your finger and a little bit of oil off your nose, you can see that color coming back. So it's going to be a fun car to shine back up and bring back to life. And I think those areas that have been touched up and blended, like this fender and such, I think all of that will blend together and it'll all match and look pretty awesome. So this car is the next project to roll into the lab. We're working on other things as well, but this should be a fairly quick revival, quick detail and cleanup, and hopefully we can find an amazing home for this beloved 1960 Beetle. It's a special car. It had a special owner, and I'm sure he would want to see it go to the right home. Somebody that's going to preserve it, keep it the way that it is, and celebrate its unique history. So there you go, 1960 Canadian custom Volkswagen Beetle. Oh, we also have the birth certificate and some of the original paperwork for this car. I'll have to share that in another video, maybe in the video when we clean the thing up. I'll share some of those details because it's really kind of super cool to see. Oh, another thing I wanted to show you is the tunnel mat here is unique to the standard model. It stops short of the shifter, and then there's a different mat that goes over that center tunnel by the handbrake. Silly, weird little details that, well, we don't see on your normal American spec Volkswagen Bug. In any case, I've kind of rambled on enough about this indigo blue Canadian custom or / standard Beetle. Please subscribe and watch for future videos on the revival, detailing, and preparation for sale. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.